Is the age of the Xbox One finally coming to a close? Square Enix has sold off all of its Western studios, and we gotta talk about those Starfield leaks. Let's discuss. Let's talk about achievements. I know we all have fond memories of hunting achievements. I know I'm especially proud of 100%ing the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Well, for all my achievement hunters out there, Xbox is testing a feature right now that will allow you to reveal secret achievements. Ooh. Right now, this feature is only available for those in the Xbox Insider program or the Alpha Skip Ahead program, but soon those little achievements that have the question marks on them, you don't know what to do to unlock them, very soon you're gonna have the ability to just hit reveal and see the details about them. Over on Twitter, engineering lead Eden Marie tweeted out some screenshots showing off this feature using Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion as an example. And in the example, it seems pretty straightforward. All you have to do is hit reveal details of the guide achievements section. She says, a little feature tweak today for Alpha and Alpha Skip Ahead insiders. You can now reveal the information for secret achievements in the guide. This will also reveal them in the achievement tracker. FYI, I doctored the second image to remove the mild spoiler. It's great to see that Xbox is continuing to work on achievements after the departure of Chris Novak, who held them very close to his heart, and personally, I'm not that big of an achievement hunter anymore, but hopefully this is helpful to every one of you that is. Again, this is only available for Xbox insiders and Alpha Skip Ahead insiders. If you want to become an insider yourself, make sure you download the Xbox Insider Hub app on your Xbox and then follow the instructions from there. Next, let's talk about some updates to Game Pass. Now, we all know that it's a new month, the month of May, and along with that, we know we're gonna get a new crop of games coming to Game Pass. Well, apparently, it looks like Battlefield 2042 and FIFA 2022 are making their way over to Game Pass at some point. Some users allegedly spotted both of these games on the Microsoft Store sporting the Game Pass logo. This video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Congratulations to Raid Shadow Legends. They are celebrating their 3-year anniversary this month, and over those 3 years, they've added some really awesome content like the Doom Tower, which included 120 levels of terrifying bosses. They've also continued to add really awesome and cool looking champions over the years. And they didn't just stop at adding new heroes, they added a whole new faction as well called the Shadowkin, a tribe of warriors from the Far East who look awesome. And of course, we can't forget the Hydra, a very recent addition, considered by many to be the biggest and baddest clan boss in the game. This monster has multiple heads, each with a different ability and requires a different strategy to destroy. To help celebrate Raid's 3-year anniversary, they are giving away a ton of stuff, including new champions, new artifacts, and even a personalized video showcasing your personal Raid journey. On top of all that, all this month they have special events and tournaments going on that'll award you champions, shards, and new artifacts. If you haven't jumped into Raid yourself yet, if you click the link down in the description below or scan this QR code, you'll get a special B-Day package worth $40. That includes 3 free champions, Misericord, Tiger Soul, Romero, and you'll also get 10 Magic XP brews, 10 Force XP brews, and 10 Spirit brews. All this treasure will be waiting for you here. This next bonus applies to all new and existing Raid players. Once you're in the game by following the links, all you gotta do is enter the promo code 3YearsRaid, and you'll get a birthday package worth $25. Again, it's as easy as following the link in the description or scanning this QR code to get started. Thanks again for Raid for sponsoring this video. If you go to any of those games now on the Microsoft Store, you can't find anything about Game Pass explicitly, but they do offer free trials on Battlefield 2042 via EA Play, which we know is bundled into Game Pass Ultimate, so it's not that big of a stretch to think that they're gonna maybe put those titles on Game Pass eventually. Most of the other Battlefield games are already on Game Pass Ultimate, so again, it's not that big of a stretch to imagine Battlefield 2042 making its way over to the service. It could serve as a little bit of a revitalization, maybe a little bit of a redemption after such a rocky launch. I personally haven't played Battlefield 2042, and I know a lot of you probably have opinions over it. A lot of people were mad about all the bugs, the performance issues, but apparently they have been hard at work trying to fix the game and bring it up to snuff. They introduced a patch in April, which allegedly fixed over 400 bugs and player issues that people were reporting. If you're into sports games, FIFA 2022 is a really awesome addition to Game Pass. That'll mean pretty much all the major sports games are going to be on Game Pass together, including Madden 2022, NBA 2K 2022, and MLB The Show 2022. And considering all of those games, FIFA, Madden, NBA 2K, MLB, all of those games, they stay relatively the same from year to year. They usually just update the roster, maybe add in a new career mode of some sort. It might be nice to play as part of your Game Pass Ultimate sub versus shelling out another $60 just to have the updated version of the game. Now it's time to talk about Starfield. That is right. If you're an Xbox fan, probably the most anticipated game for you this year is Starfield. That is right. Bethesda is finally releasing a new IP. The guys behind Elder Scrolls, Fallout, all of those guys, they've entertained generations of gamers with those games, are finally coming out with a new world, a new RPG, and it's very exciting. The thing about it is that we haven't really seen too much from Starfield apart from some leaks of some screenshots and a little clip of a robot just being like existing. I don't know what to call it. It seems that Bethesda, Todd Howard, all of those guys, they're keeping the cards pretty close to their chest with Starfield. That being said, a former Bethesda employee that goes by Heavy008 online revealed some details about the game that's supposed to be coming out in November. First of all, for some context, Heavy008 is credited as being a character artist. And Jason Schreier, who works as a reporter for Bloomberg, he's really solid, has confirmed that they did indeed work for Bethesda, but he has not confirmed all of the things that were said that came out about the game. Heavy008's comments have sparked a lot of debate online. It sparked a lot of console war stuff on Twitter. People are saying, oh, Bethesda's in trouble, Starfield's in trouble. You can't find the original posts anymore, but I just wanted to highlight some things that stuck out to me. First of all, Heavy008 said that Bethesda was a cool place to work and that Todd Howard is a charismatic, good leader. They said that they play tested Starfield every Thursday starting at the beginning of 2022. They basically confirmed some sort of flight mechanics. To me, it sounded like the literal ability to fly your own ship around to different planets and things like that. But they also said that it, quote, wasn't fun. They said the game's lighting and visuals are really coming together to create a good-looking game, but not on par with a game like Horizon Forbidden West. And this has been the subject of some debate. Some people are saying he said that it wasn't on par with Horizon Forbidden West. They also said that the shooting feels alright, but the main thing that the media has really run away with is that apparently Heavy008 said that the game engine was crap. Now, the game engine they're referring to is the Creation 2 engine, which is the predecessor of the previous engines that were used on to make games like Skyrim and the Fallout games. As far as the graphics go, as far as the engine goes, if the game ends up looking like the leaked screenshots that we have seen, if it turns out to be similar to that, a little bit better than that, around the same level as that, I'll personally be happy. I think, again, this just goes to show that people will use any excuse they can to dogpile on a game, hate on a game, even before it's out. But me personally, I'm still very excited for this game. I've been hearing rumors that Starfield has essentially been finished for a really long time. They've just taken this past year to keep fine-tuning it, keep refining it, and that's super exciting to me. I cannot wait for June 12th for when they have the Xbox Bethesda showcase to see if they finally show off some gameplay. Side note, as far as we know, Starfield is a next-gen title only, meaning it's only going to be on Xbox Series X and S consoles. If you have not made the jump, the upgrade to this next generation of Xboxes, the Series X, the Series S, I have a link down in the description where you can buy your very own. Next up, we got some juicy acquisition news, but not the acquisition news that you want. Square Enix has basically decided to sell all of their Western studios for $300 million to Embracer Group. This also includes Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, Legacy of Kain, Thief, and more than 50 back catalog games from Square Enix Holdings. Now, Square dumping off pretty much all of their Western studios, I gotta say, was not something I was expecting. And obviously, as Xbox fans, this is not the news that we wanted to hear. I know a lot of people out there, including myself, wanted Microsoft to at least acquire Crystal Dynamics, considering how closely they're working on Perfect Dark. And if they got the Tomb Raider IP, that would be awesome because that would basically give them their own version of Uncharted. But I guess Embracer Group is a publisher that we have to pay attention to now. If you don't know who Embracer Group is, you are forgiven because not a lot of people know who they are. They are a Swedish video game and media holdings company, and they started out as just a pretty much like a group of investors that dealt mostly in retail. They also sold excess video game stock internationally, and then they were like, you know what, let's sell our own video games. So they rebranded to Nordic Game Holdings, and they basically started buying up these like defunct, bankrupt studios. For example, they bought THQ, the guys who did Darksiders, and in 2018, 2016, they became a publicly traded company and rebranded to Embracer Group. And they weren't just satisfied with buying up bankrupt and old studios anymore. They got some pretty big acquisitions under their belt, like Gearbox for $1.3 billion a couple years ago. They put out a little game series known as Borderlands. They got Asper Media, who's working on the KOTOR remake. They got Saints Row. They got all sorts of like interesting IPs under their belt that they've accumulated over the years. But they also got like a lot of older or maybe mismanaged IPs under their belt, like Deus Ex. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't be having a new Deus Ex game every couple of years. In terms of sheer body count, Embracer Group is bigger than Activision Blizzard. These guys are nothing to sneeze at. They basically got a bunch of like mid-range IPs under their belt and just amassed them all. So again, Embracer Group, nothing to sneeze at. Of course, they're not like the top level publisher yet, but they basically have a bunch of mid-range IPs that they've amassed over the years. Hopefully they do something cool with it, they manage it well, because Square Enix, you gotta be honest, they've been kind of squandering their Western studios as of late with games like Marvel's Avengers and things like that. Next up, we again have some pretty interesting leaks, this time related to Forza Motorsport 8. So Forza Motorsport, it's basically, if you're not really a racing game person, it's basically like the serious racing game on Xbox versus Forza Horizon 5, which is like kind of the fun open world racing game. And Forza Motorsport 8 is a very highly anticipated Xbox Game Studios exclusive. A lot of people are looking forward to it. And a lot of people were hoping with Forza Motorsport 8, with these games going forward, that they were going to be next-gen exclusive. They were only going to come out on Xbox Series X and S consoles. They were finally going to leave the Xbox One generation behind and unlock the true potential of next-generation gaming. Well, according to some leaked screenshots that popped up on r/gaming leaks, it looks like this game is coming to Xbox One after all. The images were posted a couple of days ago. They were apparently taken in July of 2021. And although people will say, it's just rumors or not verified, if this means anything to you, the Reddit mod for this group has confirmed that these screenshots are authentic. If you go to the post on r/gaming leaks, it is what looks like some in-game footage of the game, but just on the Xbox One build. And the post says, tired of people saying it's next gen only, here's some pics of the Xbox One build from around last July. Now, after hearing this news, you probably fall into two camps. You're probably like, man, this is a bummer because it's time to leave the Xbox One generation behind. First of all, the Xbox One generation, low point for Microsoft Xbox. I think we can all agree on that. And I think a lot of us are eager to, like I said, move on to the next generation, see how these games really truly run when developers focus all their time on developing for the Xbox Series X and S. But at the same time, I kind of get it. We did go through a pretty long period where it was very hard to get your hands on an Xbox Series X, especially. I know people were always in the comments and my DMs saying, man, I really wish I can grab an Xbox Series X, but I haven't been able to. I've been trying for X amount of time, over a year, over 2 years, for my whole life. So if they chose to release this game on Xbox One, I would sort of get it because I know a lot of people out there haven't made the upgrade yet. Jez Corden over at Windows Central did say that they were testing out an Xbox One version, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to release it on Xbox One. Either way, there has not been any official word on whether or not this game is going to be cross-generation. So all we can really do is wait. We know that this game apparently boasts 4K 60 FPS support with ray tracing, and some people have even reported that it's popped up on sale a couple of times. Even some YouTubers have made videos about it, and it looks really fun, looks really cool. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more of a picture on whether or not it's going to come out on Xbox One in the next couple of months, maybe at the Xbox Showcase, but we'll see.